Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to GameStar TV for the Heroes of the Storm Season 2 qualifiers for ANZ. My name is Kit Fox. I'll be your host for this evening. If you have just joined us, we just saw Onyx United defeat Legion on Infernal Shrines, and that was one hell of a game. Two new teams, brand new, I believe, making their debut into the competitive scene. They put on a spectacle for us. We have so many viewer giveaways tonight, thanks to Blizzard ANZ. They have just dumped swag on our desk and said, get rid of it all, and we are all too happy to oblige. Tonight, we are giving away a Valera hero and launch skin, so that's her Demon Hunter skin as well as the hero code. So to enter, all you have to do is type !GS2Q into Twitch chat right now, and we are going to be giving away two of those tonight, and we'll be giving away this one at the end of game number 4, and of course, as always, it's only open to followers of the channel, so please, if you haven't done so already, top right-hand corner of the screen, click that love heart, because we love you, you love us, get skins, and it's all a good time all around. Like I said, that'll be drawn after game number 4, which is 2 games away. The last one will be drawn at the end of the broadcast. And I mentioned swag. We've got so much more as well. Blizzard have gifted us with 2 Machines of War bundles to give away. Now, stay tuned for tips on how to pick those up a little bit later on in the broadcast, but just a tip, it'll require a little bit more than just typing in a keyword into Twitch to get your hot little hands on those. About a $40 value, somewhere around that mark, I believe, for those Machines of War bundles. And there are fistfuls of cash being thrown at this game, and it is absolutely fantastic. If you do manage to find yourself in a team that qualifies, you'll net yourself $2,000 if you finish 4th, 4K for 3rd place, 6K for 2nd place, and the winners will be taking home $8,000. That is a total prize pool of $20K, which is not bad at all for playing video games. Thank you very much. And the winner will be flown to DreamHack to represent the region. Will it be Nomia, or will Kings be knocked off their throne? We're going to go into game number 3 now as P5 take on the Lleyton Hewitt fan club on Battlefield of Eternity. So once again, I pass you back to your casters, Skinny and Ben.
That's the one, Kid Fox. Here we go. This is a bit of a more evenly matched game, so to speak, wouldn't you say, Vandy?
Definitely. We're seeing 2 sort of long-term teams come head-to-head, so I think we're all a bit hyped for this one.
And long-term teams with experienced players with interesting names, so to speak. Lleyton Hewitt FC, a name I could never have dreamt up about, but the abbreviation for what we have known as Pesky's Pristine Puffy Pentapods. Well, that's going to be too much for us to say on the fly, so we're going to call them P5.
P5 it is. There's no dramas there. And that Lleyton Hewitt FC, I'm pretty sure Hewitt is retired. Is that true?
I think he is. I actually Google searched it during the interval to see if he actually was playing, and yeah, I believe he has.
So it's more of just a commendation to the glory days of Hewitt gone by.
Is that saying that this team is a bunch of washed up players then? What's it mean?
Skimmy, I never said that.
Are we calling people out? Is this above what we're meant to be doing? Let's be serious.
Let's get back to the game.
Let's be serious.
Right. We've got a Falstad ban right off the bat. We've also seen a Malfurion ban and ETC being picked up. So we've seen why that ETC is being prioritized. His ability to soak, his ability to set team fights up. He just is the man for the job. He's a great Tier 1 warrior.
Especially after the sort of mosh pits we saw last game. That is what every ETC player dreams of, and there's a reason why he's been so strong, regardless of all the changes that have happened over the recent patches. There's a reason he's still getting picked up. But a big change, and this is what we're talking about at the start of the day, Lucio being such a high priority for these bruisers, and Arthas, it feels as if Lleyton Hewitt FC valued the Arthas pick so early on. And given that they only had 2 picks to go with before the next rotation of bans, that's the reasoning behind why they want to pick it up early.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we saw that Arthur's doing some work there, getting some high-value Syndra Ghosts and just making sure that whoever he was on was constantly just getting slowed and frozen. So really sticky now, this champion, especially with Lucio speed boosting him up now. He's going to be hard to get away from.
Absolutely, and it's a good counter pick to the Greymane, which has always been a go-to, especially on this map. We'll have to see what kind of build he goes for, if it's a standard ranged attack, or even it's the more popularized cocktail build, which does have a lot of love, especially on this map, when you do get the potential to siege or even defend. But in combined with Li Ming has been an age-old secret with this map, the ability to poke when you're playing sort of defensive role when both people are standing by their own punishers. Immortals, and not actually wanting to come out. So 2 strong carry picks to take straight away off the board, but Lieutenant Morales is what they've banned here. Now, this suggests, if we try and read this ban, that Lleyton FC are looking to try and build a very sustain-orientated comp, so potentially Valo, potentially Nazebo.
I'm thinking if out of the two, they'd probably want to go the Valor, in saying that because this is a 2-lane map, Nazebo can only do so much. Yes, he can push hard, especially with the Immortal. It's just Valor's more of that everything role that they sort of want. She can do the damage, do the clearing, push well. So that's just where I'm at, where I'm thinking, but definitely he's not off the board. Nazebo was someone that we didn't touch on. In fact, when we were talking about people who sort of started making a comeback, we've seen him make a huge comeback, especially even with his changes now. He's pretty strong, and a lot of that has to do with that he is one of the more, I guess, tankier mages, as well as just the changes, quality of life changes with the spiders and things now sticking better. So yeah, he's in a good place at the moment.
He's in a really good space. And I was just going to add to your point there before you carry on about the idea of at level 13, when you can go for the ice block, you can actually choose Superstition, which sure, it means you trade off taking more auto attack damage, but you negate a lot of ability damage. And with the sort of the meta for such a long time being so mage orientated, you can quite comfortably run a Nazebo into a double mage setup and to say, I'm never going to ice block, but I'm always going to be taking a significantly reduced amount from you, so come at me.
Exactly. I wonder if that Mage Brawl a couple of weeks back sort of made people aware of this, because I found that whenever I was up against the Nazebo, I would lose because he was just so good. He took that talent level 13, it was like a free win. He's like, come at me, bitches. And you were doing no damage whatsoever. So yeah, definitely Skimmy, great point to pick up. And Nubrak himself as well.
This is what we were talking about, yeah. So, I mean, they took Valor off the board, which I think is smart. They must have read it the exact same way as us, but this is really pandering to the idea why both great sustained supports have been taken off the board, Malf and Lieutenant Morales, because of Lunara. Now, a long time ago, before I even talk about the Nova, a long time ago, Lunara was a go-to pick on this map because of her ability to smash out the punishes the same way that Vale can and the same way that Artanis can. And we saw a bit of Lunara recently from the Eastern Clash, combined with Nubrak. That is a whole bunch of sustained damage. But Vandy, I mean, the Nova, what?
Comfort picks. same again as the Valera that we sort of saw. It did work for them. It is that comfort pick. Nova's mechanic, very similar to Valera. You wait in the wings, you make sure that you can get some snipes. She's also got a global with precision strike and triple tap dealing a lot of single target damage. So maybe looking to get that Lunara and Lucio out of the fight early, and even a mechanic to sort of dodge around the tanks. Wait for them to go in, your backline suddenly exposed, go in then. But like you said, not a conventional pick. This is definitely more of a comfort one. So we just need to see if really the skill's going to sort of, if she can step up to the plate, let's say.
Well, by having the Kerosene to pair with it as well, that's another reliable target to dive in when ETC and Greymane go huge. So it almost seems to be the case of, well, how do we deal with this? Let's just go full out damage and blow somebody up as quickly as we can and secure a target, almost like we saw in game number 1. The response, the final pick in the side of Lleyton Hewitt FC was the Xayah, which we haven't actually seen too much of tonight, whether or not she's being banned or even just not too phased about, but she's always been a strong pick for isolation and the ability to amplify a target, in this case, Lunara.
Exactly right. And also that Zarya, though, was just looking at exactly what you were saying, just that ability to blow someone up quickly. And Zarya's going to make sure that there's another obstacle in their way to do that. So that was a great counter pick coming out there just by physics, just making sure that he's sort of seen. He's like, okay, they're all wanting to go all in on someone. How can I help? How can I negate this? So great pick up there.
Great pick up. Well, here is a first for ANZ. A lot of new picks, a lot of different picks, and if you thought that the Western and Eastern Clash were unique, we'll have a look at this. We have a Nova played by Luminum, who was a support player but has now come back as a one-trick Nova potentially. But let's kick it off on the left-hand side. Lleyton Hewitt FC. In the blue-hand side, it is Xayah, played by Physics, Jatty, Lucio. Godzilla is on Lunara. Against Time is playing Nubrak, and Zeph is tanking on Arthas.
And on the red team, we have P5, abbreviated just to make life a little bit easy. Yeah, we've got Penta playing ETC, Pesky on Karazim, Luminum on Nova, Katori playing Leeming, and Hack on Greymane.
And that's what I'm going to be doing for sure. Hacking away in the mid lane as 5 members meet their match straight away. Against time getting dropped rather low, but Zeph is doing what Arthas does, running straight into the team with no fear whatsoever. Attack speed, movement speed reduced. Look how slow they are. And combine that with a Lucio, and you just can't seem to run away. But after all that, nothing seems to happen. They're going back in for a second try, but it's a whole bunch of people that are most likely going to be hitting that recall button, or maybe just playing lanes handicapped.
I mean, Pesky doing a good job of keeping them back up to full health, but really it was just, that's what Arthas is about now. Did you see how much slow was going out? They were trying their best to disengage. That's what new Arthas is about, and I guess what the developers were trying to do. He's very, very sticky now. Yeah,
combine that with the Lucio, and you can sort of see the real strength from that double pick right off the bat, because they can combine that with absolutely anything. In this case, the whole comp is going to be central to Lunara jumping in and out, who already, like you say, has no mount. She's almost like Dahaka with an innate increased movement speed. So she is going to be very elusive, and we'll have to keep an eye on how she opts to spec.
Exactly right, and also with that sort of poison coming out, making Nova's job a little bit harder if Luminum does get tapped by that poison, just really blocking a lot of that stealth potential coming out. So just needs to be careful, I guess, with what's going around on this map, and it is good to see Lunara back. She has sort of, once again, found her place in some certain maps and some certain teams, and people really favour on this as well because she is an Immortal Slayer by every sort of definition.
Absolutely, there was a point in time when she was the go-to, but then she just fell off, and a lot of the reason behind that was she's just too risky for what she brings. But you know, this patch has really shaken things up, and as a result, it's great to see some new changes. Otherwise, people do get very bored when they go, oh, you know, it's Rag, it's Malf, it's Zeratul, game after game. And it's nice to see something new, and just how quickly teams and players can adapt to the meta, because sometimes they don't, and just like that, Lucio is deleted. First Blood going in favor of P5, who are now going to do a little bit of damage onto the Immortal, trying to pop it into that second phase if they can. But Zeph, look at him, 1v4, potentially 1v5, but Luminum's got no mana. Well, not much you can do, but Arthas finally does drop down, and everybody on P5 is sub 50%. Pesky expending all of his mana here, and against time trying to pick up the remnants.
Against time, just looking for kills, they're just diving in. They're so low on mana, P5, that's why they couldn't really stay to fight any further. It was going to be risky, but that was a great impale right there onto Midori, delaying his recall, making it ever that harder to sort of get back into the fight. But we're seeing as well, on the side of Blue Team, that they've taken out so much more of that Immortal, at least for this first one. It's not going to be the be-all end-all if they get it, but it definitely helps in trying to get that momentum, get that ball rolling.
Well, that's what they're going to be looking to try and achieve, you know. They're going to want to get that first Immortal under their wing and then blow somebody up with the Nova. That's what I really want to see. Go for the Pro, combine with the Nova, and then suddenly we'll have a whole meta revolutionized. Almost like how when, I believe it was Rob, played Sonya, and everyone's like, well, that's, you know, that's the ANZ champion right now, Sonya. But for the meantime, it seems to be that the Immortal phase has been popped in, both very low, very close to that halfway stage. Trying to desperately look for a kill before this pops into the second stage. They want to get that initial pick, but that's a huge burrow by against time. This is caught Pesky out completely. Is there enough kill from Penta? There is not. And Karazim, the support, is gone. He's out. And that really hinders their chances now, P5.
P5, they just did not like the position that they were caught in. With the support getting taken out, that's just not what you want. Not so early. Juddy had that earlier. But Zeth getting low now, just making sure that against time had to sort of bail him out. And Juddy as well coming to the rescue.
Yeah, I mean, Jetty's trying to come along, and Hack just got a little bit too cheeky. He was thinking, I can get a bit of a look at the beast that go on as well. Zeph is having none of it, or was it physics? It was one of the two, no matter what it was. They were getting cheeky about it, definitely looking for the kill there as Hack standing in the wings, trying to get the pick on a straggler, but just was not enough, and physics cannot collapse onto Luminum, who has the increased movement speed when stealth, and managed to run away for that tap. But it is going to seem to be that the first one goes in favor of Lleyton Hewitt FC with a 6,000 shield, nothing too bad to start things off with, and a half-level lead.
Yep, they're going to be wanting to make sure that they can keep their lead, keep it going, but oh, that was a great knockback by Jaddy there, just delaying that power slide, just saying that we don't want any of that.
Oh, against time once again, he's on the money with these burrows, really coming from the side and pincer maneuvering, so to speak. And now they're going to go as a whole unit to the top lane, keeping Arthas in the bot to soak, to keep ahead in XP, and get as many free structures as they can. Now, Cocktail build has been fully invested at this stage from Hack, and a Triumvirate, actually, level 4, so opting for less healing and more damage. And Nuremberg, after all the compliments we give him, the caster's curse comes into full effect.
Just burrowing in with no man to save, essentially. But Hack's so dangerously low there as well, and I mean, they couldn't see that, but there's nothing they're going to be able to do there. They still get their half a level lead, and they're still in a good spot, the Lleyton Hewitt fan club.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Physics has been doing a great job, having gone for the full Grenadier build, playing that ranged assassin role, so to speak, and really focusing a lot of attention onto attack, because Greymane is such a great pick on this map, and especially with the cocktails, can dish out a lot of damage if left unchecked. So zoning him out essentially means they have little damage. They had to rely solely on the Leeming Nova one-shot combo, and if that doesn't connect, then they've essentially won that fight.
So true, and it's really going to be high pressure down the line as well. I mean, as you said, if their cooldowns are quite long, if you miss everything, go all in with Nova and Leeming. Well, less Leeming, because if you can get the resets, but if you go all in, those cooldowns are quite long, you're going to get a bit punished. There's no auto attack getting handed out.
Whoa, full commitment here from P5 as War Office is still in the bot lane. He's actually murking. He just does not care. And it's a 4v5 for Lleyton Hewitt FC, who are just taking the fight straight to P5. They just do not care. Against Time takes a lot of that damage. He goes again once more on towards Hack. Impale, Burrow combo, looking to lock things up there, but just not enough damage to follow things up there. Godzilla getting a little bit scared to really commit to it, but he's definitely dishing out the poison and keeping everyone in check. Respawn, or I should say recalls in time for the Immortal phase. That does happen in the next 5 seconds, and this one's going to be a lot closer, I'd imagine, this time.
I would imagine as well, and I mean, while all that excitement was going on, Zeph was making sure that he was keeping the bottom lane push. They're really getting that level lead going on as well, and managing to take out the man camp too.
That is so unfortunate by Against Time. He went for the collapse on Lumina. Lumina had no one near him. He got the Burrow charge on, fine, perfect. The Impale missed, and that's the only damage they needed, and as a result, having to stick around there to try and get the final remnants of it. Those two members dropped for free. So unfortunate, and an advantage that was looking so good for them just suddenly turns, and Godzilla now gone.
And to Godzilla gone. It was exactly what happened. He was still leading, but Luminum, he might get away again. The body block proving too much for Zeph there. He's in the cell now. He's relatively safe. Physics as well, missing the grenade here. Oh, Luminum just dancing. Barely out of there.
Physics is searching. He's thinking, where is that player? And This is kind of tilting me, to be honest, because it might become a thing. It might become a thing in my Hero League games. And did you not see it on camera? No, don't make it a thing.
It's so true. And Against Time just missing that Burrow there. Katori just doing some good poke. They just want to get these guys off their Immortal. They're telling Lady Hewitt fan club to back off, but they don't seem to be in a position to fight here with ETC just getting so separated. Penta getting dangerously low.
I was going to say, take that one back there, Vanny, because they're definitely looking for Penta, but he still had the power slide up his sleeve and he can get out of harm's way. But the poke is so cantankerous from the side of P5. The all build followed by the cocktail build. They're looking to sit back for as long as possible, chip away at your health bar, and then, little old Nova out of nowhere rocks up to get the final nail in the coffin. And this is where that poke comes in. Yeah.
And that's it. But they need to be careful now with Zeph trying to initiate in on Katori. They've got so much CC of their own as well.
They do have a lot of CC, and they're getting so dangerously close to level 10. Neither team wanted to fully commit to the other side's Immortal, and they're kind of edging away very slowly at this halfway phase. Level 10 is just about to hit. I think that's really what it's going to boil down to, yeah. As soon as level 10's been hit, the full commitment is surely going to break out.
So we're seeing that precision strike by Nova, 7 side strike, Mosh Pit, Disintegrate, all taken out. These picks, Greymane still waiting for his.
Yeah, it has to be go for the throat. Curse Bullet in recent times has been looked on as not so popular, but there goes Army of the Dead, popped on towards the Alpha stage, who got a lot of aggression on from the ETC, but ETC pays the price for that one, could not collapse with a kill. Look at that, leaping around, Bambi plays for days, and he just jumps in and takes out the Nova. He's such elusive Nova, can't do much about that. Go for throat, does get the kill there, and that gets some cocktails used for a consolation prize, if you will. And then there was just one, the little lonesome Katori, who's going to run away, clear some lanes, and call quits on that one.
Yeah, he doesn't want any of that. He knows it'll just be throwing and staggering out of death, so he's just going to let him have it, and they're going to regroup and defend this not bad immortal. This time it's half a shield, so it's slowly creeping up to more and more, as you sort of see with each team fight. It was very even, but a lot of what it came down to was just the execution. Really, ETC not able to get a good mosh. All kind of went from there. Godzilla leaping around for days, getting good picks, cleaning up the rest of the team.
It comes down to the age-old secret of he got picked by an Arthas. You know, he got baited by the whole idea of I can kill this guy. Then Arthas pops on with it and just laughs at your attempts to do anything to him. He needs at least 3 people on towards him to get any kind of kill. Against time is looking for it once again. He goes into the background, causing all kinds of problems. But Penta, same story once more. In the wrong place at the wrong time, really trying to force the agenda. We're talking about this whole idea of them having a poke comp. They're trying to force comps, trying to force fights right off the bat. There goes Pesky with the 7-sided strike. Does nothing. It's a mantra, it's meditation time for him, as this immortal shield chipped away is now edging its way on towards the entrance of this top peak. Fight is still breaking out, Vandy. No team deciding to clear this one out just yet, but stuns are coming out, kills are surely about to happen, and ETC finally, after such a prolonged period, drops to the grave, and now they begin the siege on towards this keep. And let's see if they do actually fully commit to it, Vandy.
They want to. I mean, they're all still quite healthy. They know that they can sort of push him back, but they just need to be sure not to overcommit. This core is looking like dangerous territory now. They can get poked quite hard if they're not careful. So they need to get this keep and get out.
Get out, use the Lucio, and run away. And that's exactly what they have in mind. They're on fire. Level 13 to 12. They had the talent advantage. They might even go for their re-engage because why are you trying to get onto us? I do not quite there with the Howling Blast, but Godzilla, he's being cheeky. He jumped on him once again and really utilizing that mobility and causing all kinds of problems for P5's backline.
Oh, and they're even going to try to take the bruises here right now, fully aware that they need to go back and heal. They've got a lot of pressure. They've put down a lot of poke of their own. Now it seems that they're finally happy to do a get-out maneuver. It took them a while. But they weren't phased at all, Skimmy. They weren't phased.
They had the confidence to execute that play. And this is actually a really good play by them to take the Shaman camp now, denying that split push potential from the opposing enemy. And as a result, now they can time their Shaman camp for this next phase. And we know when they do their inevitable dance in the middle, they've got a lane that needs to be responded to. Potentially 2 lanes, because that Shaman camp will push the bot lane whilst they'll have cannons and siege minions pushing the top. This causes all kinds of macro decisions which you really need to be decisive about and all buy into.
It's just a lot of boogieing going down on the map here, and oh my gosh, that fort has just been holding on with the tiniest bit right there. It looks like they might want to try and get it, but a pause has been called with lag from Katori.
Has there been a single game tonight without a call of lag?
You're pretty close, but unfortunately not.
Unfortunate Australian internet.
That's it. So I'm just looking at how complete, I guess, some quests are. Some looking all completed, all done. So Greymanes, Arthas's, they've definitely got that bonus happening. Lucio not too far off. Same as Azaria, halfway through. But interesting to see the confidence coming out from Luminum taking Snipe Master. If he misses a snipe, he loses those stacks. It's one of those high-risk, high-reward talents on Nova. I don't think it's been paying off because I have seen him drop a couple of snipes here and there. So realistically, he needs to make sure that he gets those stacks and keeps them. So you really have to play conservatively with that snipe talent right there.
Yeah, it's Luminum really putting a testament to his ability to land those skill shots. Did actually quit this game to play League of Legends, and I believe he's still playing that now, but has come back, and he's going to be using those skills to good test, I'm sure. But looking at the Anubrak build, this seems to be the go-to right now. Legion of Beetles was very profound and used quite a lot last patch. But there is a bit of debate at level 4 what is going to be the go-to. You can either go for the Barbs on Impale to give yourself some more CC to empower the acid-drenched Mandibles at 13, which, you know, it seems a bit ironic, really. They reduce the damage of tanks, then they give him an ability that allows him to do 70% more damage on auto. So when we mentioned Anubrak being that sort of that damage dealer, nothing really has changed. He's got a little bit tanky as a result, and we've got a game back up and running, Bandy.
Exactly. Well, the action has been resumed, and what an action it is with Godzilla getting low.
So much action just went off there. Bounty jumping in, causing all kinds of problems, but gets taken out so quickly. Expulsion Zone was used, but this does not matter. They're trying to go on to Jetty, but Jetty B-steps, goes, see you later, hack. Not nothing you can do. No possible way to get out of that situation. Penta gets the kill. He has the face net to get people away. But you have to deal with those mercenary camps. We mentioned it before. They have camps pushing in top, or have minions pushing in top, camps pushing in the bottom, and this just gives Lleyton Hewitt FC so much breathing room to work with. They can decide what they want to do. Lumen, sure, he's there to pop the clone and try and juke them off, but what is a Nova going to do against 5 people? This is not the dream.
Not yet. Just maybe just poke at them, getting those Snipe Master stacks up. So good to see. Just making sure he's not doing something at least. But like I said, what's he going to do? He can't engage. He's just waiting for the rest of his team. And they're looking for another fight now, Skibby.
Absolutely. They're going to go for it once again. 7-sided strike is used. This does not seem like much is going on. Precision strike comes across, and Arthur gets taken out. The tank is off them all. Can they get a second? They do. Resets onto a Nubrak. Leaves just Zaya, who has no expulsion zone. And a lot of that came down to the fact that Sound Barrier was on cooldown for another 15 seconds. And P5 really executing that one, whether or not they knew that to be the case, but they definitely took full advantage of it.
Yeah, it was great to see, well executed by P5. They made sure that this time the damage stuck with no Sound Barrier to nullify it. Even Jaddy getting in a bit of trouble there, but this time the Sound Barrier was up.
Yeah, the Sound Barrier's going to come across this time. Hack is looking for a go for the throat, was used again, and Jaddy just does not care. Second time I've seen him get away on nothing whatsoever. Hack is going to drop the poison. Grenade comes across and snipes him out. He was actually standing next to Pesky, almost waiting for the breath of heaven, and got completely betrayed. Unlucky. Unlucky.
It feels bad, man, especially if you go so close to killing Jaddy. That's what Lucio does, it's what makes him such an infuriating champ. But in saying that, Zarya was the one that completely popped. That assassin damage showing when you had the Nova and you had the... Oh, a missed snipe there.
Yeah, missed snipe, but it's a death, that's a consequence. And they just run out of steam. They actually precision strike to try and take the Immortal down. Still has a 2k shield. So with that in mind, they only have pin to Katori. Katori's gone for the tap. Gonna look to try and re-engage if he can. But Zeph, great job by him to actually get in the face of P5, keep them zoned away, have no chance of them dropping that shield down as a result, leaving Godzilla in against time to take out the Immortal for free and have another push.
I mean, it's so frustrating because we can see P5, they're getting that Immortal down dangerously low. They just can't quite close because they've run out of steam. That Sound Barrier's back. The Lucio too good at denying them. They're getting picks. It's just not enough. Katori's not allowed to just do his Li Ming things. Not getting enough out of those resets.
Yes, it's a different story to game number 1, so to speak, where Li Ming was finding those resets and really going to town with them. And the response I can see here from Hack, who's been so desperately trying to take out the Lucio, as he's gone for the increased movement speed. Once the Inner Beast is activated, if he can sustain it, he's going to be running 30% quicker. And this has been amplified by Glass Cannon being taken from the Li Ming. So Katori really looking to try and get the ball rolling. He needs some kills, they need some resets, they need an opportunity, because if this is a team wipe here, they can win the game. They're going to go straight for a precision strike, followed by the Sound Barrier used so early on. They're going to go for Lumen if they can. Against time to get the Lotus pop. He's trying to do it. Godzilla, he's down to 250. Can he go away? He's onto all tech. He does finally get the kill. A boosted before Greymane drops as well. Jaddy once again down to absolutely nothing. He's keeping himself sustained. Then looking at the mosh pit. 3 people call Katori. Can he do it? Can he keep the team's dream alive? No! He gets aggressed upon as well. Li Ming taken out by the Nubrak. Then there were 2, they said, and it's Penta running away. Oh, it's the Cowboy Cow. Can he do much? He can't. The Immortal is still on the core, and then there's going to be game going to Lleyton Hewitt FC.
Well played. Oh, so much value coming out of a Nubrak against time. When you're Li Ming or Jaina, those beetles are just so infuriating. You can do empowered orbs all you want, but if they're hitting the beetles, it just feels so bad. And Katori, he had such a great chance. They just couldn't get the resets at the end there. It was looking like a good wipe for him, just not enough. Jaddy, always proving. Yeah.
I was just going to say, to carry on your point, you could almost argue he went for legions of beetles. There's one time I saw like 5 beetles at once. You can almost argue that he was using that as a way to negate a lot of what Katori is trying to achieve.
Yep, definitely. And that's why when I see an Nubrak and I'm playing Li Ming or Jaina, I just know I'm going to have a bad time for exactly that reason. Those little beetles, they do so much. And I guess that's why they've added them to a Nubrak's kit, to negate those skill shots.
Absolutely. And we look at the damage. Lunara, that was the go-to. There was a lot of sort of pressure and pointing of fingers going towards her to really dish out the damage and cause all kinds of problems for P5. But my money, or my focus really was on both the tanks. I felt they played quite exceptionally, especially Nubrak and Zeph. or Nubrak and Arthur, sorry. Was there any preference on your side?
I was just really liking Jaddy's play throughout the game. Once again, great sound barriers, and the fact that he was always just staying alive solo, but once again, the tanks as well. If you had to pick one though, Skimmy, who would you go for? Nubrak or Arthas? To give my MVP to.
Arthas is OP and a Nubrak takes skill, maybe?
So
I'll give it to a Nubrak personally.
All right, done. It's going to Nubrak. Because in saying that, the skill trumps, right?
Yeah, well, that's it. I feel like taking nothing away from Arthas, it just feels dirty to play. But Nubrak definitely doing a lot of work to, like you mentioned, deny what Li Ming was trying to achieve and just actually be at the right place at the right time to set fights up in their favour. So for round number 3 of the Season 2 qualifiers, we'll give this nomination to Against Time, meaning he gets a chance of going in a draw to win that sweet Plantronics headset. But for now, that's us. Back to round 4 in just a second, but Kev Fox to close it out.
Thank you very much, Skimmy and Vandy, for P5 versus the Lleyton Hewitt fan club. And if you've got Twitter, do yourself a favour and jump on the GameStar page because we totally tagged the real Lleyton Hewitt in our Twitter post. So get a retweet on that and see if we can get him in here for the lols. And if you haven't done so already, remember to !GS2Q in the Twitch chat to win yourself a Valera code and the Demon Hunter skin. And please make sure you are following the channel. That will be drawn after the next game, so don't go anywhere. We've got a lot more Heroes of the Storm action coming your way right after this.